Everyone, Nikki here, Smithy161. So a few of you asked me to show you how I make my junk journals, as you like the Christmassy one I'm working on. So I will tell you the stuff you need, or the stuff that I use. For your cover, I would say use a thickish card. So like I've got an ice cream box here, so anything that's thick, like a cereal box. Cut off the tops, the top and then the bottom and one of the sides, because you need to keep one side for your spine. Something to poke through, a couple of clothes pegs to hold things. I'm making my signatures with junk mail. Something to thread through. I'm using wool because I do crochet, so I've got quite a few odd balls of wool. I'd say a thick thread. If you're using embroidery thread, I would use the whole lot. I wouldn't split it. I'd keep it, you want it as strong as possible. You need something to poke it with. I have my grandpa's old bradawl. You could use a pokey tool. So something sharp to stick through. Obviously a needle for threading with a large eye, and not too sharp because you don't want to prick yourself. Obviously I have to mention that. And so what you need to do is you need to fold it over, hold one of the sides up, get your signature opened in half. Mine's going to stick out the top, but I'm not worried about that. I've got different size envelopes, junk mail. So I'm going to hold that side up so I'm not too close to the edge, because I just did a dummy run to explain and I went too close to the edge, which wouldn't have worked. So hold, I hope I'm explaining everything okay, because I am dyslexic. Hold the one of the sides up and move your signature just a smidgen away from it. There's no set measurements in this because I don't measure anything. So I want that one about there. Mine's going to have 5 signatures in. So once you've roughly got where you want your first one to go, fold it back out, get your clothes pegs, so one there and one down the bottom. Then make your holes. You can measure them if you want. So like once you've done your first signature, if you thought, oh, those holes are really going to be okay, you could then, hold on, let me go back a bit. So if you want to make a template for your holes, you could get, I'm not going to do it with this, but this is the leftover bits and I'm going to make flowers out of. So you could put that on top, put your holes in the first one, and then use that as your template. I'm not going to, because I always cover up where I put my things. So I'm going to put a hole there and one in the middle. Oops. And one about there down the bottom. So a little gap from the bottom. And then just to make sure I have gone all the way through, I pick it up and then oops, can you see that? Just make sure I've gone all the way through, because obviously this is quite a thick card. So then you've done that. You then need to get your, whatever you're going to thread with. So I normally measure it and probably do have 3 times the length. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, and a little bit more just for luck. Trim that off. So let me move that out of the way, get my needle. So now I've got the fun of trying to thread a needle. Should be alright. It's just got quite a wide hole, but this wool I'm using is rather thick. So as I've only got 3 holes, I'm going to start from the middle if my video makes no sense, I won't be offended that you go and look at somebody else's. So go in the middle, leave a tail, then back up through and make sure to hold that so you don't lose that bit. Pull as tight as you possibly can. Go back down the middle. This is how I do it. I think it's called like a pamphlet stitch, but so back down the middle, then find your other hole. Sorry about that, my battery died. So yeah, where was I? So I'll just refresh. So with the sewing, the first time you go down through the middle, then up through the top, down, then up through here. So once you've come back and you're through that, I will show you show it again in another signature. So take your needle out and make a knot. So pull it as tight as you possibly can and try and get the knot back up to that middle hole. If you can't, don't panic. Pull it tight, and then I would say go through and tie again. So I'm hoping you can see that okay. Then trim that, dispose of that. Right, okay. Let's just put that in there so I don't lose my needle. Take those out, take your pegs off, then fold that over a bit, get your next signature. If you were doing one signature, then just go in the middle. Can't find the middle of this one. Get it down to the bottom with the other one. Have a little, like I said, with how you brought that up, bring that up so then you know that you've got a little bit. I always, oh crumbs, they're attacking me now. Have a little bit of a gap. I don't know if you can see that, like where my finger is, there's just a tiny gap. So that helps, I find it helps when I, you know, start filling the pages and they get bulky. So we've got that one, and so we need to peg this one down again. So one at the top, one at the bottom. I know this bit's going to move a bit, and I haven't got anything to hold that, so I'm going to have to just hold that as best I can, because there's no way I'm going to get a clip to there. What I could do, I suppose, I haven't got any, but if you had any like very low tack tape, you could use that. Actually, I might just use a bit of washi. So if you have that and your peg or clip won't go down, won't hold, say, a small piece like that, just get some washi or repositionable tape and just hold it in place like lightly with that. So I'm using my washi and I've taken off some of the sticky, so it's not overly sticky, just to hold that in place while I'm sewing. So yeah, bring that up just to make sure you've got a bit of a gap. If you had your, say you had your template, you'd put your template back to where you had it and do your holes that way. But as you know, I am not, I'm not using a template, I'm just going for it. So I'm going to put one about, I want to hold that bit in, so I'm going to put one there, one in the middle to hold that one, and one about, so yet again, hold it, oh, that didn't work, did it? Because it didn't hold that bit. Right, so, oh god, I'm going to have fun lining that up. Ah, there we are. Like I said, don't worry if you slip off. Mine haven't been perfect. I mean, if you had your template, you would have been all right, but I decided not to. I'll sort that bit out that's tatty. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got like a tatty bit there, so I'll sort that out in a bit. So lift it up, reconfirm those holes. God, the middle one's been a real pig. I'm just going to lie mine down again and see if I can get it a bit, that's it. So through there, find your top one, through there. Move your fingers out the way because it will hurt if you go through, because I have done that in the past. So then you've got your holes again. That is not going to stay there. Let's just try and get that more. As you can see, the back of mine will be a mess, but I don't mind. Cut your thread again. So just a reminder, that length 3 times, and then plus a little bit more for luck. So I will come back once I've put all the signatures in and go over what will be next. So hopefully that will give you an idea with the signatures. Actually, I'll do the change of plan. I'm allowed to change my mind, I'm a woman. I'll thread this one on camera just to refresh you, and then I'll do the other ones off camera and come back. So you go through the middle one, if the needle will behave, and you can find your hole. Sometimes you might just have to wiggle it a bit, but don't panic. So through your middle hole, leave your tail, then up to the top one. Hold that in place, give that a tug, then back down through the middle. This one's been a real pain. You might have a little bit of difficulty, so you might just have to fidget your signature about a bit. And obviously if you're doing it on camera, you won't have as much trouble, because we know when it comes to doing things on camera, it will go to pot. And then down your middle one. I'm sorry if my angle's not being very great. I haven't got the facilities to have overhead. Pull that through, cut that off, come back up, try and bring your knot up to the middle, pull as tight as you possibly can. Tie one knot. Sorry if my hands were in the way. I'm sure you will know how to tie a knot. Tie another knot. Trim those bits. If you went through the other way, so these knots were on the outside, you could tie dangles and stuff off it. So have a play, because you can always unthread it. So I hope those 2 signatures gave you an idea. And I will be back once I've put the other ones in, and I will see you all soon. I really hope this is making sense. I'm doing the best I can, folks. See you in a bit. So I just had a thought. When you come to your last signature, you will need to do what we did at the start, you know, holding up the book cover. So when you come to the last one, let me just get my last signature and open that up. There is a middle to this somewhere. How come when I was off camera I could find them really easy? Now I've come on camera and I can't. So yeah, so when you come to your last signature, hold up the back cover to get where you need that to go. Otherwise you'll make the mistake I did when I did it a bit off camera and came way too close to the edge. So yeah, hold that up, lay it flat again, get your clothes pegs and peg it down, or whatever you're using to hold it down. Where's my Bradle? Make the holes again. So I know I've repeated some things a bit, but Yeah, so make your holes again like you would, but yeah, just make sure you bring up the back cover. So when you do your front signature, bring up your first signature, bring up that cover, and when you do your last signature, bring up the back cover. So I hope that makes sense, and I will see you in a bit once I've done that. Okay, so now you've got all your signatures in, you basically have made your book. As you can see, my signatures aren't straight at all, so they're quite uneven, but that doesn't bother me. I'm going to cover that up. So that's how it would look. If you wanted to, you could tie dangles or something from it if you didn't want to cover that up, but I'm going to cover mine up. But I've just thought, before I carry on any further, I have made, let me just move this one out of the way, made them differently. So I've got like a signature. Let me just see if I can sort of explain it better, because it's not. So each one of these bits here is its own signature. So all I did was folded the papers in, had a cover, and used my sewing machine to go down it, and then stuck each signature on top of each other. It does give a different sort of book because it will sort of wobble a bit, but I like them. I've got another one like that. As you can see, it moves and stuff, but it's staying stuck, and I used high tack tape. Yeah, so each like bit of this is a signature. So yeah, you could sew it down and then glue your signatures on top of each other. So that's another way that I do mine. This is just a single one. It's one of my little glue books. So I can find the middle. Where is it? There it is. Is there somewhere? Yeah, I don't know if you can see if I get close. Yeah, so I just opened them up, sewed down the middle on the sewing machine, and then just made a little glue book. So you could do that sort of thing. So back to this one. So we've put all the bits in. So that's all your signatures in. And then what I've got, because mine's going to be totally junky, I'm going to add these bits into it as a cover, but I will do that as a separate video. So I hoped all of that made sense. If you've got any questions, please come and ask me, and I will see you all for part 2 when it comes to adding pockets and stuff for it. So that'll be a separate bit as part 2. So see you all soon. Bye. Hey everyone, so I'm back with part 2 of my how I do my junk journals. Let me just move a couple of things out of the way and then I'll be back. Right, so I've got a mixture of stuff here, things for the cover, and I'll just show you what I'm going to do with this journal, as I plan to have this journal for playing with new art supplies. So when I get anything new, I'm going to play with it in that book. So it's just, so this junk journal is going to be playing for new stuff, or if I get new bits of paper, cut it off and, you know, stick it in there and what have you. So it's going to be just for new crafty stuff to, you know, put in there and test out. So that those will be up and coming videos as well. So I've got a mixture of stuff here. So I've got one of my new toppers from that Hunky Dory kit, which I'm going to have on the front cover. The paper I've used also for the covers is, get it up the right way, is this one. It's by Deco Time and it's called Cardboard Pattern. So it's a bit of an unusual name. I don't know if they still do this one, but it's a really nice, it's a good quality. So they do them in like an A5 size. This one is 30 by 15 centimetres, so I don't know if it's like more for scrapbooking or something, but anyway, so that's the one I've got. unfortunately the cover's fallen off. And of course I won't waste the cover. So I'll just put this away, which won't take me 2 secs. And as you can see, I've got a real mix of things. So let's just move this, get the cover. And as I'm going to have a bit of a gap on mine, I've just cut another bit to put over it. But I'm going to do something a bit different and have something like that, I think. Yeah. So if you don't want to watch me sticking and stuff, then that's fine. But this is how I decorate mine. I'm just going to move that to one side. I really probably... Sorry, I've just had a thought. I'm just going to get a bit of high-tack tape to hold this down as well, because obviously I want it to stay put. So I'll just go over what I put, which is a bit of a waste, but I wasn't thinking when I started it. So either use a wet glue or something like the high-tack tape, because you want to make sure it stays stuck. Let me just move that. Come on. One bit comes off and the other bit won't. I think it's... Well, mind you, I put that over the tape. Ah, there we are. Got it. Let's try and get it up the right way. I could have edged these, but I'm not going to. There's a bit of that showing, but I'm going to trim that off. So let's just get my other bit to cover that up. 'Tis warm. It's actually nice that we've got some sunshine after the rain. My thought would be that, you know, you have rain at night time. Anyway, yeah, so decorate. See, I got the wrong bit now. I got the wrong bit. I'm not thinking. So yeah, decorate the cover how you want, but I would say definitely a high-tack tape or a wet glue, you know, something that's really going to stay put, because obviously you'll be opening it up and things, and your cover. I've trimmed the top of my paper just a little bit smaller than that. Then to do this bit here, like where you did your signatures, I just slightly fold it down, and then that will cover up where that is. Or you can leave it like that. Choice is yours. But I'm going to cover mine up just to make sure the signatures stay put a little bit more, because I don't trust my stitching. I'm sure it's fine. I haven't had one fall apart yet. But I do normally cover up the stitching, so that might have helped it a bit. So, I was thinking of doing this one in parts, but I'm probably just gonna keep it like that. Yeah, so fold it down a bit, and then it's just a bit easier to get that on. If you wanted, you could have done this at the beginning and then put on that bit last, but I'm doing it this way. Excuse me, I just need to get a drink. Oh. So it's not alcoholic, it's just orange squash with lots of ice in. Obviously when I'm talking and it's hot weather, my mouth is getting a bit dry. I've lost the end now. There it is. Yeah, so I'm just doing the back bit. This stuff never cuts well. I'm only using 2 bits on this, because as long as it's held at the side, I should be alright. If you wanted to, you could use a cheaper tape, you know, a less sticky tape just down the middle, but I'm not going to. Let's get rid of that bit of thread, don't know where you came from. Put that on. And then to cover up the gap, I've got that one. So that's the covers bits done. Then where did I put the bit? So I've got this bit of ribbon that was out of one of my wall bags, and I'm just going to use that as the closure, because obviously this is going to get quite bulky. So I'm going to get it halfway with the ribbon as best I can. I'm not going to worry that it's twisted at all, because, oh, it straightened itself out. So because I'm going to put a topper on that, I'm just going to hold it down with a bit of tape over there. I'm not going to have anything on the back. I'm just going to leave my cover, the back cover plain, because obviously it's going to be let down. And then let's just move that again and get my topper. And I can just use ordinary tape for the actual topper. So I've trimmed my topper just a smidgen so it would fit on this gold mat, and then because I'm sticking this to a glittery card, I'm going to use the high tack tape again. You can decorate yours however you want. If you do end up doing one of these, please let me know if you've done a video, or if you take pictures. I'd love to see. My email's on pretty much most of my videos now, so you should so you could email me pictures, because I'd love to see. So that's on there. Then just to hold this down a bit, I'm just going to get my thin tape. Yet again, tacky tape, because it's on to, how was I? Let's just bring that up, so about there. Because I'm going on to glitter card again, I want to make sure it sticks. I actually have to say, I kept saying I wasn't going to do a tutorial ever for these, but I have actually enjoyed it, so I hope it's been okay and I've explained it all right. I've just realised the writing's upside down on my ribbon, but never mind. So that's the covers done. And then I have got these, which I will add later on, because I'm going to need the hot glue gun. So I will add those later on, and as this is going to be an ongoing progress, I might be able to. So yeah, I've just cut these out, but I want to put brads and stuff in, so I will show that at another time. So I've got all these bits here. I've got like bits of packaging, business cards, envelopes, all sorts of different packaging that I'm going to put throughout here to make little pockets. So if I wanted to do a tag with something, I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to decorate inside the covers yet. I haven't fully decided. And as this is going to be an ongoing video, it's not going to be so bad. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit, because I want a bit of a gap at the side. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is go through and add some pockets and stuff like that. So in case you've never made a pocket before, because I know it might be new to some people, you just put tape down the sides and along the bottom, and then you have yourself a little pocket. So I will see you back shortly once all the pockets and stuff are added. See you in a bit. Bye everyone. Right, so I've decorated the cover and put some pockets in there. So I just had, like I said, those bits left over from the bits I cut off from the main cover, and used my Tim Holtz tatted flower die. Added some buttons, added the ribbon, the topper, which I think you saw, and then I just, those few bits I showed, I just put in to make little pockets. So as this carries on taking shape, I will show you. I don't know if I showed you the back, but I just put some high tack tape along there just to stick that down, and then that can just do up, and then as it grows it can just expand. So I hoped my parts of explaining how I make my junk journal made sense. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, any questions, please ask. Please don't be nasty, as I've really done the best I can doing this. And I will see you all soon, so take care. Bye.